Welcome to another edition of Lone Star Brahmas Inside the Bullpen. Brought to you by Acme Bread. If you don't see the Acme name, you're not getting Acme quality. And now, here are your hosts, Nick Merritt, Chad Seaward, and Walt.
Weekend edition of Inside the Bullpen. Nick Merritt and Chad Seaward here inside. The office is upstairs at NYTEX, and the preseason is officially done. We got a lot of big Brahmas news to hit up, but obviously we have some exciting other things before we get to the team and the performance aspect. Obviously, I think we should give a big shout-out and a big round of applause to everybody with the NYTEX sports staff, our main operations crew, and Glenn for kind of having a big task and getting it done before the first preseason game, and that's installing the new sheet of ice. You saw the brand-new sheet of ice in the last two home games to finish up the preseason, and, man, Brahmas hockey is well and back.
Yeah, and shout-out to the fans, too, who pitched in. That was we've never, in all the years we've been here, this is 10th year here, we've never installed two sheets of ice at once. I guess maybe when the building was first acquired by NYTEX Sports. So it's a big undertaking, and this is the smallest operations crew we've ever had. So it was a all-hands-on-deck effort, and kudos. Many people have responded when we threw the thing out on Facebook.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and I got a lot of people that emailed me saying, here I am helping, with a picture of them with a mop or with a hose watering the ice or whatever. So shout out. We will pull all those emails together in a spreadsheet. We'll pick a random winner, and we'll give them a signed jersey as promised.
And obviously everybody gets home opening tickets on October 8th.
They do.
Too.
I've got a stack of envelopes here, and it's good. So thanks to everybody, and a special thanks to Glenn DeSico, because he busted his big time getting that going.
Yes.
So
well, same thing too. Obviously, actually, man, Rick pulled in. I think he said 50 to 60 hours this week total because of the weekend. And
yeah. I mean, in Ricardo, shout out to Ricardo. A lot of people don't know that the restaurant was shut down for 2 weeks while we went through renovations here with the ice plant. Ricardo got out there and chipped out that ice.
He did.
Like a madman.
Man, he must have just taken his – I've been seeing on Facebook, he's had all those patio, his porch pictures he's trying to update. Man. He literally took that mentality right to NYTEX.
He's Bob Vila. You probably don't even know who Bob Vila is. Well, that's a reference for the old farts like me. Yeah, Ricardo's the human jackhammer. He took out the ice and then helped him putting it in. So shout out to everybody involved.
Hey, but Jerome is back open now. So
back open.
You can go back to
open.
Zeus.
I had some lunch there.
Me too.
Earlier.
Me too.
Delicious.
Yeah, it was the other day. But, yeah, no, it's all good stuff. So let's see. We got some things to tease before we get back to the preseason. How about, Chad, update on our online team store?
It's coming. It's waiting on a few files to get the embroidery 100% correct, but it is almost there. It looks cool. Very sleek. We're going to offer some Nike polos. That's new.
Very new. Very cool.
And
dry fit, too.
Nike dry fit polos. We'll have more of a affordable line of polo there. And then everything that you see in the store here is going to be mirrored on the online store. That's what we were missing with that last company we dealt with. This company has been out here multiple times to make sure they have the right exact shirt brand, size, Pantone colors, everything.
And price similar, too.
And price similar. You're not going to pay $34.95 for a T-shirt. You pay $20 and affordable shipping, wherever you are.
Right.
Obviously, if you're in Sweden, it's going to cost a little bit to put it on a boat and send it over there, or however they do it. But, it's all good. And it ships out of Fort Worth, Texas.
Yes, no more California.
No more. I love California. It's great. It's a great place to visit. We got some good players from there. But for the online store, it needs to ship out of Cowtown.
We got 4 players from California to be exact.
I know. We have got a lot of
that's actually that's the fun fact, second most.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Most? Yeah, any guess on that one? Last year was Texas. This year it's not. There's the little hint.
Okay, so Michigan?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a guess.
6 players from Michigan currently.
Wow.
Could change. Could go up. Could go down. We'll see. But right now, 6 for them, 4 for California.
Yeah.
Little fun
How about that? That's very cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the online store. I think those Nike polos will be coming my way too, for sure. I'll be buying a few.
Yes, for sure.
But then that also leads to another change, and it's off the ice.
Off the ice, we have some changes, some new staff.
Yeah, so last podcast was Walt's farewell. We got a chance to catch up with him, too. Everything's good with him in Norfolk, so he said he's liking it, just trying to adjust there. And I think he's a little jealous of us now that we're starting our preseason hockey, and obviously Norfolk's not going to start until the NHL camps kind of conclude and they get some more players. So I think he's saying early October, so his offseason a little longer. I think he's a little bitter, but he's doing well.
That's okay. It's a good time to adjust and get into life there, and I'm sure he's not hating life in Virginia Beach too much. It's a beautiful area. So off ice, we have some new staff coming in. We have we're not going to replace Walt as far as a color commentator. You're not going to hear somebody up there with you on the call, Nick. It's just going to be you.
Right.
Maybe every now and then, we've talked about it, maybe you get a injured or a scratch player that might participate a little bit in the broadcast, give you a little bit of insight. You might have my dumb up there at some point in time. Who knows? But we have a new staff member, Rochelle Speaker, who will not necessarily be filling Walt's shoes. I don't know if anybody on earth could do that. He did a lot for us, but she'll be doing a lot of social media, a lot of working with Junior Brahmas, NA3HL, Zuroma, NITEC Sports, all those streams.
Yes.
So, and then also you're going to see her on camera very shortly. She's going to do some we have a big media department, Nick.
Yeah, we do.
You do.
We
you
do.
have a big media department.
Hey, well, we tried it 2 years ago. Well, I guess last year with Walt. You know, we got Walt in.
Yeah.
And he was the big home run with the group for sure. Not to discredit anybody else, but obviously Walt was very adamant on social media, so the fans had the most interaction with him.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of cool that we're taking that mentality that Walt kind of helped bring and saying, okay, well, if we can kind of reach those things, let's see what there is in that avenue.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so we've also kind of experimented from time to time with a female voice in video pieces, pregame reports, postgame reports, that kind of thing. So I think Rochelle, she has a background in broadcast journalism. Is that right?
Yep.
And she's done a lot with the Cotton Bowl and a lot in the sport of baseball. So she should be able to add a new voice to us, a new vibe.
Well, yeah, she was already firing up during the preseason, getting some production work into for the broadcast purpose on Fast Hockey. And also a big shout out to Dustin Walton, our intern for at least the first half of this year, and Dustin Copening back for year 2. You heard him on some NA3HL calls. He'll do some more Brahmas action both in the 3HL and NAHL level. So glad to have him back for another year. I thought he did a tremendous job with us.
Yeah.
And he's also going to be on the camera and also production. So he's going to be kind of the jack of all trades with literally broadcast, camera, and production. The trio, if you will.
No, it's awesome to have somebody that can do all of those things because, you never know, Nick. You may, God forbid, you may get a virus or something and you may have laryngitis midway through the season, and we got a guy on deck ready to go take over. Because if I called the games, it would be wheels off, very bad production.
Not at all. Not at all.
No, it'd be funny. I would just
get there with me.
I would just start calling guys by numbers. I wouldn't even begin to. We've got some crazy names on this team.
Yeah, no, we do.
Speaking of, what do we want to do? We want to talk about preseason now that's over?
Yeah, sounds good. Preseason wrapped up. Obviously, to kind of go back, I know we talked about putting the ice in, but a new thing that some fans saw.
Yes, we got the number 13 behind the goal in the north end of the arena. I had several fans at both of the preseason games asking me, what's the deal with that? That is the number and the font that the number was in that Justin Kanunen wore. We talked about his tragic passing in the last podcast. That under ice logo is there. It's the spot that he prominently would take the puck from. Basically, the goalie make a save, turn around, hand it to him, and off he goes. So
and coast to coast, huh?
Coast to coast. There's nobody better at it than him, and that's just a little tribute. A little tribute to Juice.
No, I like that homage. I think that's a very classy thing that Frank and Sal and obviously the rest of the Brahmas staff and everybody made sure that was.
And save the date, January 13th. We have big announcement coming on that. There's a lot of moving parts on that, but anyway, I digress. Preseason is over, Nick.
Yes, it is. But hey, it was a good preseason.
I thought so.
Fans made the trip out to Wichita Falls in the first game. We had a good homestands on Tuesday and Friday. I think the team's coming along. It's going to take a little bit to get the gear fully running, and I know the coach's expectations high for this crew, so they're going well into work for sure. But we're going to get to our 3 players to watch. But before we get into that, I know we want to hit on some of the production level there from the past week.
So I couldn't believe what I saw in Wichita Falls on that first Saturday game. The uniforms were I don't know how to say it, Nick. They were just a joke, an absolute joke. You got guys wearing different color pants, different color helmets, different colored socks. I mean, seriously, I'd say it looks like a men's league team, but most men's league teams I know around here dress better than that. That was I mean, come on. I understand if uniforms aren't here or anything, but can we not at least get a matching set?
I know.
It's embarrassing.
I hear you. It's a little rough that everybody's not on top of the ball.
And it was worse when they came here. They had even more multicolored pants and stuff.
I know. And there's no and shout out to Howard Stone and the off-ice officials because since they weren't the normal jerseys, there's no even shoulder numbers, so it's tougher to see things. And
black numbers on a red jersey.
Yeah.
Some white numbers.
Yeah.
What a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Look, pull it together, Wichita Falls.
Wasn't quite how they wanted it. Wasn't how they wanted it. And they apparently they played the Pika Roadrunners too on that their first home game on the 3rd.
Awesome.
They
well,
the scoreboard said Roadrunners, but obviously it was the Brahmas there.
And this is just a little. I'm going to give kudos to Corinne Rooney, Newman Arango, and Mark Rippey, and Deersy, Joshua Deersy Deer. Our crew, those 4 people, take care of our guys, and we look like a professional team out there.
100%.
I think only one guy didn't have a nameplate, and that's because he was a late addition.
Right.
And
right.
Seriously.
Well, yeah, just because they couldn't order them when they came day one for that first Sunday meeting, a couple weeks back. But, I mean, even right away, he's got the numbers, stickers on his helmet, got everything.
Yeah.
His helmet's already Brahma'd up.
They're all the same color.
He's got his pants. Yeah, they're the same color.
What a joke.
I know. Just missed a name bar. But, I mean, to be fair, too, he doesn't have a name bar, too, because one guy got cut who was wearing 71. So yank that guy off, and now you got to replace it with his. So
that's how we go.
Yeah.
But, so shout out to our crew for being just all over it. And, hopefully in the season, thinking back about it, this problem happened with Allen when they were an expansion team in the Central Hockey League. They had their pants, their gloves, and their helmets, and their socks, of course, but they didn't have jerseys. And we had 2 preseason games against them. They were really smart. They reached out to another pro team in the area, the Dallas Stars, and got a set of Dallas Stars jerseys to wear. So,
at least you're wearing
as Frank would say, we beat the Dallas Stars here in Texas. So, Wichita Falls, next time that happens, maybe reach out to other teams. We could have loaned you a set of jerseys.
It's true, actually.
My men's league team would have loaned you jerseys. We have it all together.
Hey, some of the adult league teams here at NITEX that were skating had some pretty sweet unis after the game, too.
Absolutely. So, 2 things that we always do at the beginning of the year, always as of last year, preseason prediction and 3 players to watch.
Yeah.
Now, going back to last year, we were pretty on point with players to watch. I think you had Berardinelli in your list. I think we both.
No, you did.
Okay, well, I was trying
I
to give you credit.
Andrin. I think I had Andrin.
Okay, and that worked out very well.
And then Walt had OB, and he's in the USHL now. I remember that.
Who had Clark? Somebody had Clark.
You know what? I don't think any of us did.
No, we're better than that.
I know. I really don't think we did.
Huh. Okay, well.
So we screwed up one, but.
All right, well.
Hey, it's good. It shows that preseason's worthy because we didn't notice him out of the preseason, then all of a sudden, bam.
I think we had only seen 1 game, too, when we made those predictions. So now we've seen 3, Nick.
Yep.
Do you have 3 players to watch?
I do, and I think we both got a goalie, forward, and D.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
Let's start in the back end. I'm gonna go with goaltending first. I think the guy who started the season off for the Brahmas looked very good. Eric Gordon, he's a 1999 birth year goalie. The youngest player on our team. That means he could literally be with the Brahmas organization for 3 total years, which is crazy to think. So from a development standpoint, obviously that's an A+. But just from a performance-wise, his first game in Wichita Falls, he did very well. Looked to be in a groove early. I thought he squared up to the puck well. He's a little bit undersized, but I mean, it's not terrible. He's almost 6 feet tall. When you look at the other 2 giants on the ice, Giants is in 6'2", 6'3", but there's a height difference. But I thought Gordon handled himself well. He came from Bloomington, the USHL. He probably honestly would have made that team if it wasn't for them having one of their returning goalies, Holiday, coming back, who's also a college commit. That kind of already takes one of the 2 spots. I think he would have had a really good chance actually of cracking it, that roster. So I think he's going to be one to watch. I think he should be fun. And we saw last year Connor O'Brien and Gunnar Rivers were the 2 goalies that went in Game 1. Game 2, O'Brien didn't play because, hey, maybe the coach already knew they wanted to use him. What happened this year? Gordon started Game 1.
Yep.
He didn't dress Game 2. Maybe the coach already want him.
Yeah.
So he's my goalie to watch.
Okay. Well, I have a different opinion. I think Gordon is good. I'm not going to take anything away from him. I think he's got a lot of potential, and I've heard the coaches in the locker room say good things about him. My money's on Austin Smith. That's a goalie, 6'2", 170. Let's see, where's Smithy? We're going to call him Smithy. From Orland Park, Illinois, New Jersey Hitman last year, 6'2". He's got a big presence there between the pipes. And when he was put in this preseason, he was pretty steady.
Yeah, he was.
In fact, that game Tuesday against Wichita Falls, right?
Yes.
The Tuesday night one after Labor Day.
Yeah, no goals allowed, right?
No goals allowed, but he came in. They had 2 goals, and when he came in, they were up. Wichita Falls was up.
Yeah, 2-1, I think. Yeah,
and so it's good to see a goalie come in and just kind of shut things down.
Without a doubt.
Shut the door. So
no, I like that too. I heard a thing about Smith from the locker room too. He obviously played a couple of games in the NAHL last year. With Austin Bruins were one of those teams, or to put Walt's words, a cup of coffee in the NAHL. And he changed up his goaltending coach, what I heard from Coach Rooney this summer, and I guess they're doing some big things. So Rooney obviously wanted to keep an eye on Smith, see how he did in the preseason, and obviously things are pretty strong moving forward. So that's a good goaltending pick. And let's roll it right back, stick with D. Let's go to defenseman, and you could roll off your player to watch on D.
I had a hard time picking out a player to watch on D. I don't want to upset anybody, but I wasn't really that impressed with the D core. And I could be totally wrong. I just nobody stood out. Maybe as a unit they'll be amazing.
I know what you're going for there,
but I just couldn't find that one guy. Like last year, you had Clark, who looked like a man amongst boys,
right,
when he had the puck,
right.
And this year, I don't know.
Somebody's got to go to that role.
So I'm going to go with Jacob Maliska from Slovakia. He's a 96, so he's got age and experience. He played in the Czech under-20 league. I mean, at this point, I'll take a 20-year-old who's got some experience. And you know what? He seemed to kind of throw his body around. He didn't seem like he was afraid to dive in front of a puck, which, as a defenseman, I mean, one of my favorite defenders out there in recent years in the NHL is Anton Volchinkov.
Oh, yeah.
Because he will take a puck to the face, to the neck, to the knee, wherever. He does not care. He blocks pucks. So I like to see that. So that's kind of what I'm envisioning with him. But again, I had a, could have tossed a coin in the air and pulled his name.
I know what you're saying. It seems like the D unit and the team in general is kind of bonding really well this early, which is great to see. I think that's part of Dan Wildfong's regimen of saying, hey, I want to have the players here early so we get the first chance on the ice before all the other teams in the league do. Malisko's a good pick. I'm going to go I'm sticking youth. I'm going youth all the way with these 3 picks. A little teaser.
Okay.
Jordan Wishman is going to be my player to watch on D. He's from Des Moines, Iowa. He's a 1998 birth year, so another player with 3 years of eligibility, including this year. He played a game for us last year, and you loved, obviously, the decor last year the Brahmas had. They finished number 2 statistically in the league out of 24 teams. And man, did he hold his own last year, too, coming from the Omaha's program and the AAA U18 team, which is a very prestigious organization in Omaha. And Wishman, he did solid. I don't think he made too many mistakes. I think he's going to be a guy who's going to rise to the occasion this year. I feel like he's going to get his name out there. My picks aren't going to be college guys right away, so we're going to have to we'd have to judge him at the end of the year, like when we picked Oscar Andren. Yeah, he's going to college. We picked Berard Nelly. He's going to college because they were older. So I guess I'll have to judge my guys a little bit higher. Yeah, they could get a college commitment way early, but I just want to see some good production out of both Wishman and Gordon, my 2 picks so far.
And honestly, I mean, college commitments are fantastic and everything, but I would love to see the guys focus on Brahmas hockey,
right,
and not necessarily worry so much about
Yeah, you focus on Brahmas hockey, get the job done. Colleges come.
They're going to come for sure. So let's change it up. You go. Who's your guy at the front?
All right, for it. Hey, I said I'm going young. Another 1998. All right. I like that we're changing it. I love the French forward, 6'6", Justin Adamo. I think he is a very skilled player. Not afraid to bang bodies. He was going in the corners. That's what Dan Wildfong loves. He loves those board battles. Adamo is not shy of that because of his size. 6'6", 225 is what he's listed as, but he's literally a human bowling ball out there. He laid the hammer, I want to say, 5 good times in the preseason, and that's not even just like doing battles, like leveling a guy or protecting the puck and shoving the other guy down to the ice.
Yeah.
He's got good hands, too. That's going to be huge. And he plays center. We know how hard it is for any forward to come in here at Lone Star and play center. It's a tough position, and right now he's slotted as our top-line center. Will it last? I mean, we'll see. The team's going to improve. The team's going to grow with him. He's going to grow with the team. But, man, from what I saw in the 3 games, he is looking pretty sharp.
That's a good pick, Nick. In fact, I was sitting up here in the office during that game. I think it was Tuesday night, and there's some Wichita Falls Scratch players sitting just right outside the window, and I heard them refer to Adamo as something that rhymes with tick. They said that guy's a real tick. They hated him because he was running around just leveling guys. And so I agree with you. I like to see that. I have had a very biased opinion of French players for some reason my whole life. I've never thought of French players as tough or anything I would ever want on my team.
I hope he's the exception then for you.
I think so. I think he proved it in preseason. Now we'll see. We'll see what happens.
There's one I'm going to have to ask him or one of the French scholars in our fan base. The city, look at that. Clermont-Ferrand. I wonder how you pronounce that.
Yeah, all right.
That with the right accent. Clermont-Ferrand, France?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know what? I mean, apparently they raise guys that can hit there because he can certainly hit, and I like to see that. So my pick is also along those lines. In my forwards, I like to see size. Love to see size. And Adama's definitely got size, but I'm going Austin O'Rourke.
Nice.
Who is a 97. So what is that? He's got
2 years. He's got an extra year.
2 years.
Yep.
So what is he?
Next year.
6'4", 215.
Whew. I think those are the 2 tallest guys on the team we just picked.
Yeah, and I saw him also not be afraid to throw around the body and stick up for teammates and kind of stir the pot a little bit. So
here's what you're going to like about him, too, from what I saw. He's good in net front presence.
Yes.
The coach is making sure, Austin, you're going to the front of the net. That's where you're going to be. So
that's what you do.
Get comfortable, pal.
When you're blessed with a 6'4" frame as a hockey player and a forward, you get in front of the net, and it's war. And I think he'll be up to the task. So, all right,
I like that. So there we go. O'Rourke, Adamo, Melisko, Wishman, Smith, Gordon were our 6 players that we named combined. So there we go.
There you go. Now,
Prediction time.
Last year, I think I was off by, 1 game? Were we both off by 1 game?
I think we were, each way. And did you say – I think I got the second right. I said we're going to finish second. You might have said first.
I think I did say first, and I was off by wins by like 1.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was off by wins by 2 or 3, but I got the second right.
Okay, so now we've got a new team in the South. I guess you could argue that the talent pool is thinned out a little bit. I don't know if that argument holds water, but we won't see as many. We won't have Amarillo 10 times like we did last year.
True.
Just to punch them in the face for 10 games in the fall. I think it's going to be a little bit more evenly balanced in this division.
Yep. With Shreveport, I agree.
You've got new coaches around the division.
Yes. Plus all the coaches last year that were new are now in their second year, like Nicholson and with Amarillo, and we have a new coach in Corpus, but that growth helps.
So with that being said, what do you want to do? You want to do where we finish in the division first?
Sure.
Okay, I am going to go out on a limb and say first.
Okay. First. I'm
gonna be the homer. I'm gonna say first. I think we will not come out of the gates immediately flying, but once we hit our stride, we're gonna just mop the floor.
I'm gonna go back literally to last year, and I think second's gonna be the lucky number again. I think the team's gonna get some momentum, but they still have a little bit to go. I feel like that's pretty fair, too, because, hey, we saw last year Wichita Falls. Remember last year when we spanked them in the preseason? We're like, wow, Wichita Falls literally may stink last year. And sure enough, we couldn't have been more wrong if we thought that, because they were the Robertson Cup runner-ups and they won the South. So everything changes. Like, this is just the beginning. People still need to understand that whatever you're seeing out there, you're only going to get better, and all the other teams are only going to get better. So I'm going to say second. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a better race this year, because I think, like you said, all the teams are kind of closer together. I don't think it's going to be Wichita Falls come away with like 100 points and Amarillo only leaving with like 30 again. I think the spread's going to be a lot closer. So I think it's going to be a tight second, but we'll be in the mix for the first place.
Okay. Now, how many wins do you think we're going to have?
Let's see, 60-game season. I'm going to go right at 38.
Oh, 38. That's a good one. That's a good number. I'm going to go 35. And I think that's good enough for first place because it's going to be all jumble jammed at the it's going to be a really tight race.
Okay.
That's my guess.
I like it. Well, shoot, there's the predictions
right.
for the post-preseason podcast.
We'll revisit that in May and see who's right, see who buys lunch.
Yes. The lunch was online.
Oh, is it not? Oh.
Zeromas.
Hey, here's a fun fact about Clermont-Ferrand, France.
What you got?
Right in the middle of the country. That's about all I got.
Nice.
Back to you, Nick.
Yeah. Well, that'll take it to our regular season game. The boys head out to Amarillo on September 17th to open the regular season. The Blaine Showcase is then 4 days after that home opener. We'll be traveling out there as well. All the action will be on fasthockey.com and the Brahmas social media for that. In the words of Walt Ruff, who texted me middle of this podcast, you want to give a shout-out? Go Brahmas.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said. Your best Scott Plurd voice. There it is.
Okay. All right. Well, shout out. There we go. Party.
That'll do it, guys. We'll have a safe week, and we'll see you back on the podcast soon. No music?
I think I got nothing.
He wasn't ready.
This has been Inside the Bullpen with the Lone Star Brahmas, brought to you by Acme Brick. Acme Brick, it's the best thing to have around your house.